Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so be honest with me for a second. You know that incredibly exhausting feeling where you've been running around all day, you're constantly busy, but somehow you hit the end of the day and feel like you got absolutely nothing done? Yeah, we've all been there. You put in the hours, you feel totally drained, but those big important goals, they literally haven't moved an inch. It's so frustrating, right?
Which brings us to a really huge question. Who is actually controlling your time? Because, as it turns out, it's not just about setting an earlier alarm clock or somehow magically finding more willpower. No, there is a literal psychological battle happening inside your own brain every single time you sit down to try and get something done.
Section 1. The procrastinator in your mind.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Before we can even think about fixing our schedules, we have to understand the procrastinator living in our heads. So think of your brain as a psychological playground, complete with a very stubborn cast of characters. First up, you've got the rational decision maker. This is the adult in the room. It's the smart you that wants to plan ahead, act responsibly, and actually get things done. But the rational decision maker happens to share the control room with the instant gratification monkey. And let me tell you, this monkey does not care about your long-term goals at all. It only lives in the present moment, it loves comfort, it takes the easy way out, and it has an absolute genius-level talent for distracting the rational decision maker.
Now, what's kind of hilarious, actually, scratch that, it's a little tragic, is this whole concept of future you. You see, the instant gratification monkey absolutely loves pushing all the hard, boring work onto future you. Future you is basically the monkey's best friend, the poor guy who gets stuck dealing with all the consequences. But here is the terrifying catch from the source material. Future you does not actually exist. By the time the future finally arrives, that idealized version of you has completely vanished. You are just present-day you, stuck cleaning up the messy consequences of your own procrastination.
So with this monkey just running totally wild, how does anything ever get accomplished? Well, look at this contrast. On one side, you have the logical, rational decision maker, who is basically helpless against the monkey. But on the other side, we have the panic monster. And the panic monster is the ultimate enforcer. It is literally the only force on Earth strong enough to scare the monkey away. But there's a huge problem here. The panic monster only wakes up at the very, very last minute, when a deadline is staring you right in the face, which forces you to work in pure, high-stress, absolute chaos.
Section 2. The Eisenhower Matrix.
Now, living your entire life just waiting around for the panic monster to wake up, that's an exhausting way to live. We need to map out this battlefield. So our source material formally defines the Eisenhower Matrix. It's this brilliant time management framework that divides every single task into 4 specific quadrants based on 2 super simple variables, urgency and importance. Basically, it's a tool to help us separate the stuff that truly adds value to our lives from the stuff that just feels like an emergency right now.
Picture it like a 2x2 grid. Every single task you do in a day, whether that's writing a novel or just folding your laundry, falls into one of these 4 zones. You've got Quadrant 1, which is important and urgent. Quadrant 2 is important but not urgent. Quadrant 3 is urgent but not important. And finally, Quadrant 4 is not important and not urgent. By looking at your life mapped out like this, you can instantly see exactly where your precious time is leaking away.
All right, so the crucial thing here is understanding the vibe of each specific box. Let's start with Quadrant 1, important and urgent. This is the fire drill zone. It's the realm of true crises, impending deadlines, and just absolute panic. Remember our panic monster? Yeah, this is his home turf. When you put off important work, it inevitably slides right into Q1, and you're forced to get it done in a state of sheer emergency. I mean, sure, it gets the job done, but it totally burns you out in the process.
Section 3. The trap of false urgency.
But what happens before the panic monster wakes up? Well, we usually fall into a massive trap. On the left, we've got Q1 true crises, things that are genuinely important and undeniable. But over on the right, we have Quadrant 3, urgent but not important. And wow, this right here is sneaky. Just because your phone is buzzing or an email chimes does not mean it's actually important. Q3 is this zone of deceptive distractions. It creates a false sense of urgency that literally tricks your brain into feeling super productive, even when you aren't doing anything of value.
Honestly, these bottom 2 quadrants are the instant gratification monkey's absolute favorite places to hang out.
In Q3, the monkey tricks us into acting busy, focusing on those ringing phones, the group chats, or suddenly deciding that you absolutely must organize the spice rack right this second. And when the monkey doesn't even want to pretend to work, boom, it drags you straight down into quadrant 4. This is the procrastinator's paradise. We're talking endless social media scrolling, pure time wasters, and just avoiding reality altogether.
Section 4. The magic of Quadrant 2.
Okay, so we know exactly how the monkey operates now. Let's look at our sanctuary. Quadrant 2 is important but not urgent. This is the magic quadrant. It's the home of your long-term planning, practicing a new skill, exercising, and spending time on your most vital relationships. These are the things that actually build a fulfilling life. But because they don't demand instant attention, because there's no panic monster screaming at you to go for a run today, we usually just ignore them completely.
Which brings us to the ultimate core strategy of this whole explainer. As the source material emphasizes, a recovering procrastinator has one massive goal: spend the maximum amount of quality time in Q2. It's that simple. By intentionally shifting your energy into this quadrant, you actively avoid the false urgency of those Q3 distractions, and you stop tasks from festering until they blow up into Q1 panic emergencies. You finally start managing your life instead of letting your life manage you.
So how do we actually pull off this shift into Q2? The source outlines 4 really actionable steps. Step 1, just recognize the quadrant you're currently in and acknowledge who's steering the ship. Is it the monkey or is it you? Step 2, examine the task itself. Do you actually need to do this? Step 3, look at the future results. Try to pull the consequences of your procrastination from that imaginary future right into your present moment. And step 4, eliminate distractions. Put the phone in another room, prep your desk the night before, and basically make it impossible for the monkey to find its toys.
There is this incredibly powerful proverb in the source text that sums up this whole mindset shift perfectly. The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The next best time is now. You see, the instant gratification monkey always wants you to hold out for the perfect, most comfortable moment. And the panic monster, well, it just waits for the absolute last possible second. But your rational decision maker knows that the only time you ever truly have any control over is right now.
So I'm going to leave you with this one final provocative thought to chew on. Which quadrant are you going to choose today? Are you going to let the monkey drag you down into the endless, unfulfilling distractions of quadrants 3 and 4? Or will you take a breath, step intentionally into quadrant 2, and actually do the things that build the life you want? The tools are all right here in front of you, but the choice, well, that's entirely yours. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.